What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Country Bunkers Trains. Hope you've been doing good. Work continues on the railroad here in the train room. Been making a little bit of progress throughout the past couple of weeks. Also took delivery of a couple new pieces that have come in the last couple of weeks as well. Some pretty cool stuff. Not a whole lot of exciting stuff that's been going on here, but I did want to get a video out to show some of the progress here on the layout. I know a lot of folks like seeing the different stages of the layout being built and whatnot, and I figured, what the hell, we'll do a quick video and see what's going on. Starting out with the first item we picked up over the last week or two, it was a pretty small purchase. Although small, it is going to lead to a very big project here on the layout. In our last video, we were going over the bridge that we had installed, how we had reused our 1x2 wood to build some new supports or piers to support the new bridge. And I had mentioned that I wanted to get away from this 1x2 wood. It does work great, but I wanted to do something a little bit more scale and something a little more realistic for the other bridges that are going to be on this layout. So I went out and picked up some of this 1/4 inch by 1/4 inch pine from the local Home Depot. And this is going to be the new trestles for our new bridges that we're going to be installing. As I say, this is going to be quite the project. I'm going to have to build a jig and do all kinds of work to get these trestles built, but I'm looking forward to it. I think this is going to be a pretty fun project. Moving on, what do you guys say we jump right into the good stuff? Picked up some more rolling stock. I know, who would have thought, right? These things look fantastic. Picked up these brand new MTH Premier N&W 55-ton drop bottom gondolas. These things look fantastic. We're really building quite the N&W fleet for that Class A that is coming later this year. And these things are going to look excellent behind it. Like I say, these just came out from MTH. Bunch of great details. All kinds of good stuff. Bunch of piping and tanks on the bottom side. Just an all-around great looking car. These are really going to look good running around with our coal hoppers that we have already for the train. And the thing I like about these, as much as I like those coal hoppers, these are going to kind of help break up the monotony of coal hoppers, get something a little bit different in there, and still look great while doing it. The only downside with these, as you can see, they don't come with a load pre-installed. When I was looking up the history on the real drop-bottom gondolas, it seems like they were used for carrying all kinds of things, grain, coal, like I say, all kinds of things. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to put a coal load in these just to fit in with the coal hoppers. I think these will look great. When Lionel offered the Class A earlier this year, I really feel like they kind of dropped the ball on rolling stock to go along with it. They offered some 21-inch passenger cars, but only 2 coal hoppers, I believe it was. Luckily, MTH has really filled the gap over the last year or so in offering all of this great N&W rolling stock you see here. If you guys have a Class A coming later this year, I would highly recommend all the cars you see. These are some really nice pieces. If interested in the gondolas, I'll leave the product number in the description below. Next up, we have some more MTH. Oh, excuse me. No. We got some Atlas O rolling stock here. These things are fantastic. That's right, though. These happen to be old MTH tooling that Atlas O has acquired. And I'm glad they did. These are some fantastic cars. These cars are going to be extremely popular here in the hobby. Well, shoot, they already are extremely popular. MTH offered these cars some years ago, and they became extremely popular over the years. You couldn't find them anywhere, and when they did pop up, they'd pop up on eBay and places like that, and they would command buku money just to pick these up. I was able to pre-order one of these when they were announced, and Tony over at Roundhouse South actually ordered a second one that he was just going to have for normal stock for the store. And I figured, what the hell, I might as well pick that one up too. And I'm extremely glad that I did. These things are already selling out like hotcakes, and if you guys are interested in them, I would highly recommend picking one up if you do come across one ASAP. But yeah, guys, anyway, these are the new Atlas O/X MTH TTX 50-foot Gunderson high cube boxcars. And once again, some really nice looking cars. Bunch of great details, excellent scripture and signage on the sides, front and backs of these cars. They look fantastic. Bunch of details, as you can see. Handrails, brake wheel. The bottom side is nicely detailed as well. And just like the other ex-MTH tooling that Atlas O has acquired, you can see here on the trucks, it's got a Atlas O stamp right over the MTH stamp that was originally there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. But yeah, these are being assembled in the exact same factories, just like the other cars that we've been seeing. And they live right up to those standards. Some really nice pieces. If you're into the modern stuff, I would say these cars should definitely be at the top of your list of must-haves for the collection. Once again, just some really nice, excellent cars. Another really nice thing about these cars, as big and massive as they seem to be quite friendly to smaller sized layouts. I do believe these cars will handle all the way down to an 031 curve and not look absolutely ridiculous doing so, like say a Lionel 60-foot boxcar. So like I say, kind of small layout friendly for being a big car. Once again, if you're interested in picking one of these up, I'll leave the item number in the description below. Moving on to our last recent acquisition is something I think is extremely cool. I've had my eye out for one of these for a little while now, and I'm tickled to be able to finally have one. As you can see, that's this magnificent Lionel wind turbine. Isn't this thing cool? As I say, I've had my eye out for one of these for a while. K-Line did these years and years ago, and I believe Lionel did 2 runs of these, and they're kind of hard to find brand new. I came across a gentleman on Facebook selling a handful of these, and I had to jump on one. I think this thing is awesome. Now, although this isn't exactly true to scale, as you can see, this is still quite the impressive sight here on the layout. Tony was actually a little upset with me that I didn't buy a small handful of these that the gentleman had for sale. But as I say, and as you can see, a little army of these things would take up quite the real estate here on the layout. This one's going to find a nice home in the back corner on the upper loop that we're building, and I think it's going to look great up against that backdrop. Here you can see what I was talking about. This is where I'm looking at placing it. Doesn't it look good up against that backdrop? Excuse the mess, the layout's a little hectic at the moment. Been pretty busy in here. But yeah, I think it looks great. I want to get a little hill built to perch it up on, get it up a little bit higher. But yeah, once we get our farm scene up here, I think it's going to come together quite well. And this actually moves us on to our next topic. A quick little update of what we've been working on here on the layout. You know, doing these videos, I always feel like I do a lot of work, but have nothing to show for it. But believe you me, once again, this has kept me quite busy over the past couple of days. We left off in our last video. I was saying I wanted to get started working on the tunnel over here on this side of the layout. And as you can see, we're almost there. We're almost finished. Got quite a bit done, even though it doesn't look it. But yeah, we started out with our Woodland Scenics grade. I got that glued and secured in place. Nice and sturdy. The one downside with this grade, it works good with this O-scale stuff, obviously the real tracks here. The only downside is it doesn't quite reach out to the sides of the track or the roadbed itself. I've seen other people, what they do, they run 2 runs of this grade side by side to jut out beside the track, something like this. But me being a cheap SOB, I don't want to spend that much money, so I'm just using cardboard. But this works out fairly well. Tell you guys what really works quite well for this cardboard, for measuring it out and tracing it out. What I've been doing is kind of foolproof, but I get these little strips, and then I take some electrical tape, and I stick it right next to the track, and as you can see, that's the perfect measurement, at least for me. So then I just take a pen and trace out along the track, and that's how I cut out my strips for the grade. It works out quite well. With those cut, once again, I glue those in place. I'm just using hot glue for all of this. And every once in a while, I'll include a little support for the cardboard. This doesn't need to support much. It really only needs to support the cardboard itself, because once we get our plaster cloth and our joint compound installed, it forms a nice hard shell, and it's very nice, strong, and sturdy. But yeah, guys, this tunnel pretty much mimics the other tunnel on the other side of the layout to a T, and it's working out quite well. Once our plaster cloth and our joint compound dries and fully cures, I go over everything with a brown paint to hide all the white. For the ground cover in the tunnel, I'm using that Woodland Scenics Cinders ballast for the ground cover itself. Pretty natural looking effect, I think. Works out quite well. This is all glued in place. It's nice and hard. Don't got to worry about it getting shuffled around and whatnot. I didn't do the tunnel in its entirety, as you can see. You can still see the back there, not having the ballast or whatnot placed down. But you're never going to see that. You really got to get down here to see it. But when you're looking at it normally, you're never going to notice it, so I'm not going to worry about it. For the walls of the tunnel, once again, just using this 3/4 inch insulation foam. Got it all cut out and whatnot to make it look like rocks that have been blown out. I think it works out quite well. Did go a little heavy on the black on this one, but hey, it's not that bad. It's going to get hidden by the tunnel porthole once we get it installed too. That's going to be one big tunnel porthole. I did have to extend the table a little bit, just as I did on the other side. The actual tabletop ends right here on this grass line, and then to extend it, I just used the same foam to build out a little bit. I want to say this is like 3.5 inches. This was for clearance of the wall of the tunnel for our big articulated engines that are going to be running through here. I didn't want to have any issue with those big engines swinging out and hitting our new rack wall or anything like that. So this just worked out pretty good. The top level was already a little bit wider, and I'm glad that it was, because like I say, it worked out great having it here to be able to extend off of. Then we could just glue our rock wall straight to the table and onto our little expansion down here. And this is just foam and hot glue. It's nice and sturdy. It's not going anywhere. So yeah, pretty cool. Here's a look at it from looking into the train room. And I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out. It's quite dark in here. I don't know how much you guys can see. I did go pretty heavy on the black on this wall. I'm going to have to doctor that up a little bit. Put some greenery on there. Maybe go over it with another coat of gray. Get rid of some of that black. But overall, I'm quite happy with how it turned out. Once we get that tunnel porthole made and installed, we can finally move on to building that bridge that I'm looking forward to doing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, I know it doesn't look like a whole lot, but it is another step closer to getting our upper line up and running. That's something I'm really looking forward to. Once we get that tunnel finished, we can get that bridge built over there, as well as start building the big bridge that's going to come around here and span pretty much the whole layout. It ought to be quite interesting, and I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are as well. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little update and seeing some of the new products here to the train room. If you did, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. It would be much appreciated. But anyways, guys, until next time, my name is Zach, and this is Country Bunkers Trains. Y'all take care. I'll see you the next go-around.